money dates can happen with yourself.
Right.
They can happen with your partner. They can happen with a business partner. They can happen as a little family, right? And money dates is giving this area of life attention, right? And I'll start with couples first because that's what's coming to me. So I mentioned this earlier, that usually a money date happens spontaneously, but not in a healthy way, like when someone's in the shower or right before bed.
Right.
And so I want us to all realize again that we were not taught this in grade school and up in small increments, right? And so here we are. I know couples that have been married 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, great communication, great sex, great, so many things. Money is where all the crap gets put, all the tension, all the dynamics. They even have great communication skills that they've learned and applied in so many other ways, but this is where they just go at it or
Yeah.
So I need folks to know that, right? And again, I work with a lot of really beautiful, conscious folks doing great. And so we need to know that we need to start at the beginning. It's like clean slate. You need to start at the beginning with the money date. And there's a few different phases that I like people, to go through. Number one, you might even just have to plan it.
Yeah.
You might need a little wine. You might need a little dark chocolate. You might need to get out of the house. I know that's hard with young kids. You may need to go to a restaurant, right? You need to plan. There need to be some basic rules or communication guidelines. How about that? So I'm going to get 15 minutes to start. You get 15 minutes. I'm going to sit quietly while you speak. You're going to sit quietly while I speak. There's going to be no blaming, shaming, or interruption. And we begin at the beginning as though we're having our first dates again. Because couples, again, no matter how many years you're into it, so much gets swept under the rug. You merge right away your finances because that's what you were taught, or you keep them separate for years, but you're starting to feel like there's a next level of intimacy that you haven't gotten to yet. And so, there's no right or wrong way to merge or not merge or have separate. It's what's the right next move for your particular relationship. But there's just so much that happens and so many dynamics that happen. So I want to go back to the beginning, and I want to start with story time. So I start there first. We don't talk about the numbers. We don't talk about who's doing what with the tracking system, or you don't get out bank statements. That's later. You start out with story time. And we literally go back to the beginning, even if you've been married 10, 20, 30 years, and we tell stories about how we grew up and what we learned about money and what was healthy and unhealthy and what was passed down. I've never seen two people do money in the same way. Two people that are married. They may even come from the same background, but usually we don't come from the same background.
Yeah.
Even if we come from the same economic class.
Yeah.
Money's so different for, again, how we earn it, spend it, save it, all these things. So, but I want you to start with story time, and I want you to go back to less reactionary stuff. Go back and share stories about your family of origin and what you learned. Okay, we start there. Then we can start moving more into values, because couples on the surface, they're coming together because, they're in love, and there's all that, the hormones of that, and there's that, but there's also, we share a common vision, we have the same values, right? But we don't earn and spend and save in the same ways, or we all spend those values in different ways.
Yeah.